Okay, well, it is that time that you've been waiting for to take the puppies home. I am just going to give you a quick recap of what is going to be in your take home folder. I have come to realize that the day that you pick up puppies, no one is really listening to me anyway, which is completely understandable. The puppies are much cuter and much more exciting. So this way you can go back and look on your way home or once you get home and get settled in and see what is in here that I'm giving you. So first thing is the vet certificate from my vet. This just shows when their vaccinations were given. Most vets will boost those between 3 to 4 weeks. So their next appointment needs to be, medically speaking, needs to be 3 weeks from when those vaccinations were given, and that will be listed on here. Okay. I will also give you their microchip information. I'm sorry, it was in a different folder. So I will give you a yellow card that looks like this. It has a QR code that you can scan and go to their website. It is already paid for a lifetime membership. So all you're doing is transferring ownership from me to you. So that is pretty simple. That was already put in at their vet visit. Okay, I also list their eating schedule. They are eating right now 3 times a day. Your vet is going to eventually switch it to twice a day, but different vets suggest that at different times. So I just tell you to start with 3 times a day, and they're having about 1/3 of a cup 3 times daily. I'm feeding them as a litter as a whole, so it's hard for me to say what each individual puppy might need. If it's looking like they're not getting enough, you might have to adjust that a little bit as needed. However, you do want to be careful not to overfeed them. That is one of the big reasons that puppies can also get diarrhea when they go home, is overfeeding. Especially with the poultry food is very nutritionally dense, so it doesn't take a whole lot for them to get the nutrients they need. There's not a lot of fillers in that food. It's a good food, so you don't need a whole lot more than that. Okay, let's see what is next. Now, this is just the sample packs of the NuVet. I'm also going to send home a little sample packet of that. That's just a good supplement. It's a good vitamin. I've probably waited way too long to get my dogs on it. I had been contacted before by them and just really didn't know much about it and kind of put it off. But I do like it. I've heard really good things both from different vets as well as other breeders who have had their dogs on it for a long time. So I just want to show you, this is a powder form. This is what I'm giving. You don't need this. If you order it, you will get the, well, here, let me show you. So this just comes in a powder form. It helps to boost their immune system. So I sprinkle this on their food, on their kibble. Both the dogs came running. Okay, here we'll demonstrate them getting one. Come here, Ginger. This is just a little tablet. I give it as a treat to the dogs once a day. Here, Charlie. Okay. You can break it in, I think half, maybe even into 1/3. It says under 5 pounds, feed half a wafer a day. Over 5 pounds, feed 1 wafer a day. So pretty soon they'll be getting a full one a day. That's all. You already had yours. Okay. And the next thing that I want to tell you about is the Trupanion insurance. They have just recently switched over to giving us these folders. There's lots of good information about them and these. I actually met with, they spoke at the recent Golden Doodle Association conference that I went to. Now, I've been sending this home with families for the last 2 or 3 years, but I learned even more about them at the conference, and they are exclusively pet insurance. So I thought that was interesting. This is not anything that I make any profit off of at all, but I did have to provide them with information to be on their approved breeders list. I had to prove that I do health testing on the dogs, that just to show that I'm reputable so that I can send that home. Most insurance companies are going to have a waiting period for you to get your pet on it. With this, there's no waiting period at all. The only thing about it that they require that you activate it within 24 hours of your puppy coming home. So I will give this to you, and then there's a certificate in here that has my specific code. You can either do it on the phone or you can do it online, but at some point within 24 hours of your puppy coming home, they need you to activate it. It will end on its own in 30 days. It'll expire. You don't have to do anything. If you want to look into insurance, I think they do have some really great policies, but it varies from state to state and depending on what type of coverage you're getting. So I'm not able to, tell you what the pricing is or anything. I do know that the deductible is $250 if they were to need urgent care for anything, which I have had puppies that have used it. Nobody thinks they're going to use it or going to need to, but it's a really great thing to have in place should you need it. Okay, I think that's about everything. Of course, call me and text me within the next few days, with any questions. I know the first few nights will be rough if you're, getting them right into their crates, but stick with it and it'll be worth it. Also, loose stool. That is the number one thing that I usually wind up talking to you guys about when you go home, is that the puppy has diarrhea now or has loose stools. I battle it even here before they go home a lot of times. As soon as they start going outside, everything has been firm and good to go until they go outside and they eat grass and they eat acorns and whatever else they find in the yard. And it doesn't take much at all at this age to upset their tummies. I've also had puppies that have gotten into my adult dog's food if for some reason they were eating something different and the diarrhea comes immediately. So that's why I highly recommend keeping them on the same food. Well, I ask families to definitely keep them on the same food when they first go home. And if you decide you want to transition them to something else, just to do it gradually, just for their tummies. So hopefully you do have a probiotic on hand. If not, some of the natural remedies can be a canned pumpkin, just a teaspoon in their food, plain Greek yogurt, or just text me and I can send you links again for the ones that you can get online, should you need that. So, okay, hopefully that's everything, and I'll see everybody soon, and thank you all so much.